Going to be a great one. Now let's move on to the co-main event. Give me a little intro here.
Yeah, I mean, we got Nikita Krylov versus, our boy, Magomed Ankalaev. I think that, don't you feel like Ankalaev would have had way more fights? Not way more fights, but that Ion Cutelaba situation really just staggered his career. That ridiculous.
But it made me love this man. It made me love this man, He's just that, quiet dude who just or maybe he's not, as you proved to be wrong with Hernandez, but from what I see out there in the octagon, he's just a dude who goes to work, man. Cutelaba was talking smack throughout, did his whole little fake knockout thing, and Ankalaev came back and really gave it to him this time. No questions on who the better fighter is here. Even looking at that KO of Dalcha, man, that was
right.
Insane,
right? Like
dude.
The guy's the real deal.
How is that not something I've seen 100 times before? I've seen Impa, his knockout. This was almost on level.
Don't you think it comes down to the selling of the fighter themselves? I think Ankalaev is already a very billable fighter in terms of just one of these Russian beasts that are coming in with one loss and just running through folks, right? I think from a prospect perspective, I think Joaquin Buckley just came on the scene out of nowhere. He was the guy that lost to Kevin Holland via knockout. He damaged Jordan Wright. I thought that was, a difference of classing, in my opinion. I think that was just a beastly because, Joaquin Buckley then all of a sudden met a true UFC veteran in Alessio Di Chirico and paid that price. So I think that's where, this you touched on it, right? Ankalaev is an absolute beast of a prospect in some ways when you're talking about a guy like Nikita Krylov, right? Because tell me you watched the Glover fight.
I did not, but I did watch the
that's
Black
one. That a boy. Yeah, right? Yeah, so the guy's a monster. And then I think the scary part is Ankalaev, I don't know if he's seen this level of mixed martial artists at this level, because I think if it goes to the ground, Krylov has if he's able to kind of dictate a lot of the fight against Glover, I mean, you have to tell yourself that Ankalaev is in a bit of trouble as well.
Yes, absolutely. And, this is definitely going to be his toughest test yet. Really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great one for the co-main event.
When you look at Krylov, right, he actually... Think about that loss, how good he looked. He looked in great shape. He actually took some rounds. That was a very close fight. And he looked so good that coming out of the fight against Glover, we talk about these losses that are not real losses. They're experience fights, right? He goes on and absolutely, destroys Johnny Walker in a unanimous decision because, frankly...
Great name, too. But
yeah. But it goes to show that the experience pays off, right? That was a big name prospect who could have just used you as a stepping stone, and you prove that that's not the case. And Ankalaev is about to have a similar position, and I think there's a lot to say about the striking and stuff like that. But man, you cannot write off Krylov in this fight, in my opinion.
Do you foresee the winner of this fight, maybe getting a title shot soon, or
I think that's a little tough to say. I think for me, the thing about these fighters is there's billable fighters, then there's fighters who earn the shot, right? And unfortunately, we live in a time where billable fighters get more opportunity than the fighters that might deserve it sometimes. It's not. I don't think it's a matter of not deserving it and things like that. I just think that at the end of the day, certain people have been around in terms of, last opportunity or just bigger names, things like that. Things like Beneil Dariush, think about where he should be right now when you really think about it, right? So I think in that sense, you have the people to throw into that realm if you need to, kind of thing. Jan is a great example, right? Jan is going to have to take on the middleweight champion with his belt to get a really big fight out of it. And good for him, he gets the Adesanya fight, right? That's how you have to look at it, because he's not going down to fight at middleweight, because at middleweight, there's a bunch of guys waiting for Adesanya. And there's probably billable guys that can use at middleweight. So it's a really interesting process where if you're the Jan in that situation, it's oh, good, D, bring it on, baby, right? That's kind of how you take it. So I think that's where they will definitely be in line. I think Ankalaev might be able to make that chance happen. I think the loss to Glover is an issue. Glover's my guy, right? Glover. I think if you going back to what I was just saying, right? If there's a guy you want to just kind of, if I had to give a shot to a guy in terms of, earning it over time and finally being in a position where he's kind of seen it, I mean, why not give it a Glover, right? Let's talk about it. Corey Anderson, last loss, 2018. Since then, Carl Robertson, finish. Arm triangle, round 1. Ion Cutelaba, round 2, rear naked. Krylov, split decision. He goes into a grappling bout against Jake Shields and gets a draw. Are you kidding me? Goes into a 5-round fight against Anthony Smith and finishes him with ground and pound in the 5th round. Goes in against Thiago Santos and beats him in a round 3 rear naked. Guys, the guy is the most deserving. But, let this happen. I believe that Glover deserves the next shot at light heavyweight, but we'll see how that goes. Because if I had backing for my little rant there earlier, wouldn't you say Glover's the guy?
Yeah, absolutely. And let's dive right into the lines here. What's your guess here, my man?
Let's go with I'm gonna go with Ankalaev minus 275. I think that's a little high, but I think Vegas will play that.
Damn, I might be just way, way, way off on this one.
No, maybe you are.
I mean, I saw it being pretty close. I was going to give Ankalaev maybe a minus 140, but I honestly didn't think it was much. And let's see how wrong I really am.
Well, I think these are Vegas lines, so I'm hoping that they just think he's a massive favorite.
Woo! We were both off, man. Ankalaev is a minus 335.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm trying to say.
You're in the realm. You're in the realm.
But I'm not, again, I know Vegas. I know the devil's work. That's all I'm saying. It's just, that's not something I care to make, a skill of any kind that's billable in the grand scheme of things. But I do think that has, in terms of, Ankalaev is pretty hype. There's a lot of hype behind this man. And I think Krylov has some dog value in there because I can't believe after putting on a split decision against the hottest fighter at light heavyweight, he is being considered that big of a dog.
Or plus 275.
If you are in the business of that world, I would be looking at a
Salt Bay that shit, man. So that wraps up UFC Vegas 20. If you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button. All our Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff is there. Give us a follow, give us a tweet, shoot us a message, whatever floats your boat.
Peace.